Okay, so the next role is Vice President for Education. We have two candidates for this, Harley Johnson and John Guzman, and we'll start with a 1-minute speech from Harley Johnson.
Hello everyone, I'm Harley Johnson and I'm running to be your Vice President of Education. In the past I've been a student rep. I've worked for SUBU in Dillon's, the Loft and the Shop, written for publications like NME, Sky Sports and Team Talk, and marketed festivals like Outlook, Dimensions, Festival, Reading and Leeds. So I'm used to working effectively under pressure, representing not only my views but the views of others. One of my main campaigns is the SUBU Open Dialogue campaign. I want to create a transparent and accountable SUBU, transforming the culture of representation into a culture of open dialogue, reporting on everything I and SUBU get up to, holding regular student forums, opening up the entire student union to the entire student body. Some of my other campaigns include the redevelopment of the SUBU website, SUBU Student Work Library, the stronger collaboration between careers and SUBU, and starting a placement week to help you all get placements, ensuring the university meets assignment and examination result deadlines, and ultimately pledging to act, inform, engage and educate.
And now speech from the second candidate, John Guzman.
Hi guys, okay, so I'm also running to be your VP Education. The primary interest of all students is their education, and the role of the VP Education is to defend that interest. Okay, so why me? I've been a student rep for 2 years and represented the media school. I was voted in 2012 the National Rep of the Year across the whole country, which contributed to Bournemouth University being recognised as the best institution for representation in the country. Okay, so if I'm elected, I aim to improve the feedback process so that the feedback loop involves all students, so that all students are informed with what's going on with their student rep and with the institution. You're part of the institution, and if we're going to be partners, you need to know what's going on. Further from that, I'll also make sure that every student rep election is done fairly and that every student has the opportunity to be as involved as they like. Okay, so I'm not going to talk anymore, so vote for me.
Okay, so now we'll do a quick round of questions. We've got some questions from the audience. How will you let students know what BU has done as a result of student feedback? And we'll start with Harley. You have 1 minute to answer that question.
That's a good question for me actually, because one of the main things is the Open Dialogue campaign. Part of that is making sure that we're integrating much more with social media. We're going to start a spotted page, something similar to that, the name's Workable, where you can anonymously or publicly put your issues of education up and it can transparently be discussed. We're going to redevelop the SUBU website so there's a much more clear rep area where we can make sure that you know what your rep's doing, how to contact them, who your rep is, because at the moment lots of people don't even know who their rep is, and that needs to change.
Thank you. And then that question to John, would you like me to repeat it? How will you let students know what BU has done as a result of student feedback?
Okay guys, so we already have a process called the You Said We Did, which is used differently in each school, and that aims to show students what has been done as a result of their feedback. And I think building upon that is the only way that we can make students feel involved in the feedback process. So tailor it to what schools want. So the media school, that might involve putting up on the media school screens. In DEC they have posters up along the stairway that shows that we did this as a result of your feedback. It's finding the most accessible way for the student and tailoring it to that.
Thank you. Okay. The next question, we'll rotate, so John will answer this first. The next question is, what do you see as the biggest educational issue at BU?
Okay, that's a really hard one, but I think at the moment there is a culture of feedback and what you're getting back from your assignments, and whether or not that's helping you to simulate further learning. So on your assignments, for some lecturers might give you a really short paragraph, and then others might give you an extensive paragraph with loads of information on how to improve. And it's making sure that the feedback that you get back is quality, and also getting it in a timely fashion. So we want to eradicate, what I like is to eradicate this 4-week process or 5-week process where you might not know when you're going to get your feedback back. It's really important that for the next assignment you're able to build upon the learning from your previous assignments, and that's something that I'd like to tackle.
Same question, Harley. What do you see as the biggest educational issue at BU?
One of the problems at BU, I think, is sometimes you can feel like a bit of a sheep, just another number within all of these other students. There's not enough personal contact time with your lecturers. They are there for appointments, but it's not really encouraged, and some lecturers, it might even feel like you can't approach them. What I try to push for is a much more open way to get lecturers involved with students, talking to you one-on-one before you get your feedback, and that way you're going to improve on your essay before you even get your results, because by then it's too late. You need to have more contact time with your lecturers one-on-one if you want it, to know what you've got to do, when you get confused, and how to do that. Thank you.
Okay, we'll do one more question because there's two of you. Starting with Harley, there has been a big increase in student feedback and representation at BU. How would you continue the good work done?
It's great that more people are getting involved, and that's because of the excellent work that SUBU's already been doing. What you've got to do is make sure that we carry on that work and find new ways to reach the students. You need to further integrate with social media. You need to make a much more approachable and open area for the students to come to. Sometimes being up on floor 3 is a bit too much, so holding regular student forums that are advertised over Facebook on the redeveloped SUBU website is a much better way to get students involved, because last year only 20% of you voted in the election, and we need to get that up if we truly represent all of you.
Same question to John. Would you like me to repeat it? There has been a big increase in student feedback and representation at BU. How would you continue the good work done?
Okay, there's a couple of ways. The first way is to ensure that the student reps that are elected right at the beginning of the year are quality ones. So holding fair and democratic elections in all courses and ensure that we have quality reps, which is something that we don't have across the board at the moment. So that in itself will breed quality reps. And another way is to take issues nationally. So for example, we should be looking at the national sphere and what affects students nationally and targeting our campaigns and things towards that. At the moment, I'm actually developing a trip to Australia to look at universities and representation there. So you all might be quite jealous, but hopefully what I bring back will be able to help feedback into your student experience.